Today is the last day of the vacation. That is not the ocean, that's a cruise port.
One of the worst things about the last day of a cruise is trying to use an elevator. Since it's the last day and everybody has to leave, everyone has to get to deck 5 at some point, and most people are going to choose the elevator. This is the deck that you leave the ship on, so we're staying on deck 3, and we're getting breakfast at deck 16, and that means using the elevator once, but then we also have to use it to go all the way back down and get our suitcases after breakfast, and then go back to deck 5. The chance of this being a fast and easy process is extremely low. So a lot of people decide that they're going to bring all of their luggage up to breakfast, so then they have to use the elevator less. That makes the breakfast area so crowded, and since everybody's just trying to get something to eat before they have to leave the ship, it makes it incredibly difficult to find a spot to sit, because people are using tables just to store their luggage at. After being lucky enough to find a small countertop table, we were able to get some food in before trying the elevators again. The buffet area of the ship is never this crowded during a cruise, but on the first day of a cruise and the last day of a cruise, it is always incredibly busy. And with all the added luggage, it's definitely not easy to walk around. Once we got out, it was a challenge of finding an elevator door that didn't have 10 people waiting in front of it. We were lucky enough to be able to step on just barely with this crowd. And you might be thinking to yourself, why wouldn't I just wait for the next one? It's because these elevators don't come often. They come like every 10 minutes, so another 100 people would be waiting for the next one. Sam and I are going back down to deck 3, and at deck 5, almost everybody left, which made riding this elevator worth it.
Oh, Jess, you're cleaning the rooms.
We didn't leave ours too messy.
We gotta grab our bags, we'll be right back. We got super lucky on the way down. Now we just have to go up 2 floors with our bags, which is gonna be its own challenge. We should have a pretty easy, coastful airport ride after this one elevator.
And getting through customs and immigration.
Is that a sign of what's to come?
It's a sign we need to be going.
Ah!
After taking one last look around the room and saying goodbye to the picture of a woman on the end of our hallway that we had a lot of fun talking to throughout the cruise, it was time to get the elevator.
This could take 10 seconds, or it could take half an hour.
Not even 10 seconds later, an elevator showed up and everybody was surprised.
Wow. This is the best luck I've ever had.
No way.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It was really funny to hear everybody expressing their surprise, but it really can take like 10 minutes to just get one elevator to go up a few floors, and that's because everybody's just trying to go up or down a few floors. The next challenge of leaving a cruise ship is the line to the gangway. When you get on or off a cruise ship, you have to scan your SeaPass card that is basically your ID while you're on the cruise. By scanning it when you leave the cruise, they know that you're off the ship and that they don't have to worry about you being on the ship still. They try to make it as easy as possible, but since everybody needs to scan their card, you end up waiting in a line for what can be over half an hour. And once you cross this gangway, you are officially off the ship and they've scanned you and you're all set to go. But you still have to go through the customs, and that means waiting in even more lines. If you watched any of the cruise videos, then you probably saw the one where I got this new suitcase. It's rolling so smoothly, and I'm so incredibly happy to have it because I was using a duffel bag before. So all the weight that would have been on my shoulders or I'd have to carry on my arm, I can now just roll it, and that just feels like a huge luxury while having to wait in all these lines. One of my favorite sights while leaving a cruise ship is seeing the luggage room. This is where everybody who opted to have the ship just take their luggage off, so then they don't have to worry about it when trying to get off the ship. This is where they store it and you collect it before getting in your car and leaving. This makes me realize just how many people were on ship, and it just looks insane. And after walking through all the chaos, we simply got a photo for customs, and we were well on our way back to Houston for our flight back to New York City. I spent most of the hour-and-a-half car ride just editing. I always feel like editing is a great time warp. You can work for what feels like 10 minutes, but end up looking at the clock and find out that it's been an hour. And as I produce these daily vlogs, you can imagine how often I end up looking at the clock and being surprised with how long I've spent editing. And especially while traveling on long car rides, I'm so glad that I do have this laptop so then I can spend my time doing this, because it's awesome to just be able to kind of transport yourself somewhere else while you're just stuck in a single spot.
At the airport now, but I spent the entire car ride editing, trying to get my video up today before we get on a flight. I don't think that we're gonna get back in New York City till really late tonight. Got to test out the new suitcase today. This is awesome. Look at that. Love it. Houston, I wasn't here for a long time, nor was I even really there at all, but it was a good time. This is just a full vending machine just for Kylie, and this is a full vending machine just with needs, and this is a full vending machine just for taffies, a Lego vending machine, a headphone and electronics accessory machine. This is the only one that makes sense, and a cupcake machine. After making fun of all the different types of vending machines that the Houston airport has to offer, there were so many other things about this airport that I really liked too, like all of the art displays. It was almost like this airport was also a art gallery. This place feels like a place to really explore. If I had time, I probably would have gone to each of these terminals, because after going to only 2 of them, I noticed that they were completely different from each other. Part of me wishes that I did explore this airport more for that reason, but I also wanted to finish my video, and Terminal D had all of the airport lounges that we could stay at and use their Wi-Fi so then I could upload the video. Each of the SkyTrain stations had different art on the escalators going up to it, and all of the main areas had different art displays as well. Like this interactive digital art display was incredible and so much fun to play with, and for me, being someone who didn't really get to explore Houston all that much, this was an amazing little display experience where I got to see some of the art and culture that Houston has to offer. Unfortunately, some of the lounges were completely full, so we had to go with the Centurion Lounge with American Express. This is one of the more premium options for an airport lounge, but for $50, I feel like it's completely worth it. I mean, for starters, they have a nitro cold brew or still cold brew dispenser, and if you know me at all, that's the first thing that I went for. They also have a automatic cappuccino and latte maker, tables with accessible outlets that's also sitting next to a bar, and a fresh kitchen-made buffet that has so many great food options. This is my plate of seasoned turmeric rice, broccoli, beets, and red pepper chicken. Some people might not think that this is worth it, but for all of the comfort and amenities and unlimited drinks and food, this is probably better than spending $50 out in the airport. And for Wi-Fi like this while in an airport and traveling, I would pay $50 anywhere. Overall, this was probably one of the best experiences in a lounge that I'd ever had. All the different spaces and rooms definitely made this place feel huge and gave everybody their own place to do their work or relax before their flights. 3 hours definitely wasn't enough, and as I was leaving, I was pretty sad. I want to go back.
The only thing that I could think of that would be better than staying in that lounge is being back in New York City, and that's exactly where we're headed.
back in New York City, baby. I make these videos every single day. Please subscribe, and you'll see me tomorrow. Bye.